Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The subject I want to get into right now is something I had worked on before in passing, but it's very important, so I'm going to give it a full coverage. The Obi of Onitsha was apparently discussing Igbo history, and he noted that the Igbo people were in Yorubaland. Note, were in Yorubaland well before the Yoruba people got to Yorubaland. And I want to explain what history says about what the Obi of Onitsha said. Yes, we were in Yorubaland. When we were migrating from Israel, we passed through, I wouldn't call it Yorubaland because there were no Yoruba people there. We passed some of the territories that eventually the Yorubas settled in. That's exactly what happened. Remember, we left Israel about 2,500 years ago, moved through all the lands in between our present location in the lands that straddle both sides of the River Niger and the land of Israel. And as I said earlier, we passed through many lands. Most of them were uncharted, most of them were unnamed. The people we know as the Yoruba people, now we are not in that land when we passed through there. And worthy of mention is the fact that it was due to pressure that we left there because we did not want to mix culture with other peoples. So we continued to migrate until we came to the place known as the western and southern part of what is called Nigeria now. And then we had rest because there were very few peoples there. The Bantu peoples that were on the land before we came had begun to shift into Gabon, into Cameroon, or remember again, into what became Gabon, Cameroon, Congo DRC. And by the way, history recognizes what I am talking about. Go and look up the book, History of West Africa by J.D. Fegg. History of West Africa by J.D. Fegg. He noted that the Jews, he used the term Jew, I would prefer the term Hebrew or Israelite, were some of the earliest peoples that came into Africa. I repeat what I said. J.D. Fegg noted that the Jews were one of the earliest peoples that moved into Africa, that got to West Africa. History of West Africa, you need to see that book. I believe that you need to see that book so that you will get a clearer understanding of this history. We moved into Africa in times that nobody can recount, and all the places I mentioned are the places we passed through until we found rest in what we know as Igbo land today. That is the history. I'm very happy that the Obi of Onitsha has come out with a part of it that is not as politicized as the part one of the Yoruba kings came up with. The Yoruba king was trying to say that we lived side by side with them there. No, we didn't live side by side with them because remember, we were still fresh out of Jerusalem. So we are very much aware of what led to our leaving the land of Israel, assimilating, copying, and doing the cultures of others. So every hint, at every chance of staying with peoples that had a different culture with us, we left. That's why we left. Immediately, some elements that are Yoruba today began to trickle into the land. We left immediately and continued to migrate eastward till we came to what we know as Igbo land today. That is the history. It is verifiable. Oil and water don't mix. Different cultures, different peoples. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful night.